Hey everyone, and welcome to Bookworm Wednesdays. Today, we're talking about a very somber topic, and that is being way too attached to fictional characters. I am a book crier, and Christine from Poland Banana Books did a video similar to this, and she did the top 10 books that made her cry, so that is what I'm going to be doing today. I love every single one of these books, and I cried because I'm very attached to these books. And so number 10 is basically any Nicholas Sparks book, but the one that sticks out most in my mind is the last song, and since I'm very close with my family, that one hits really close to home. And yeah, so that's number 10. Number 9 is Looking for Alaska, and I recently finished this book, and while it wasn't my favorite book, it did make me feel something emotional. And it did make me cry, and I'm not gonna ruin the ending, or even like the kind of beginning of the ending, but it did make me cry, and it was quite sad. Number 8 is The Goddess Test by Amy Carter, and I don't even remember, it's lower on my list because I remember crying just once, and it was toward the beginning when someone sacrifices themselves for the main character, and that always makes me kind of get emotional. And so it wasn't like, it was like a little tear, like, oh, sad, she died, that was sad. But anyway, yeah, that book overall was really good and just made me cry a little bit. The next book on my list is Dorothy Must Die, and if you've been watching my Bookworm Wednesdays, you know that I have been reading it, and I literally just finished it like maybe a half an hour ago, and I was halfway through and something happens in the book and it made me just start crying so hard. And so if you're gonna read it, spoiler alert, the old lady dies, and it's really sad because she's kind of like a grandma to the main character, and she dies, and I love my grandma, so it made me think of her, and I just started crying. And number 6 kind of goes along with the reason why I cried in Dorothy Must Die, but number 6 is Catching Fire, and I am wearing my Hunger Games shirt today. And so number 6 is Catching Fire by Suzanne Collins, and this one was just a whirlwind of emotions. While I was reading this book, I really didn't like it, and I was really mad that she was sending them back in the arena, and I just wasn't having it. And then a bunch of people die, a bunch of good people die, and it made me really sad. Number 5 is Divergent from Veronica Roth, and spoiler alert, her mother dies, and that's just really sad. Yeah. Number 4 is The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins, and obviously when Rue dies, the tears start to flow, and it's a lot, and I'm very attached to my characters, and it just made me very sad. Number 3 is Mockingjay by Suzanne Collins, and the spoilers start now, so mute this video if you don't want to know what happens in Mockingjay. Prim dies, and it's all Gail's fault. I hate Gail. The tears just start to flow because Prim was an angel and she did not deserve to die. That's it. More spoilers! Number 2 is Allegiant, and so if you haven't read Allegiant and you don't want to know what happens, and you haven't already been spoiled, which most people have because it's crazy, mute this video now. Tris dies. What? What? So yeah, basically I didn't start crying when she died. I started crying when it was like Tobias's reaction. That that got me. That was so sad. And the reason I didn't cry when she first died is because it just kind of happened and I was like, wait, what just happened? And yeah, so that one, I'm very attached to my characters, like I said, and that one was very, very sad. And the number one book that literally makes me cry about thinking about it is The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. That book, I literally read quotes on Goodreads and start crying about this book. This book is such a tearjerker, and if you haven't seen the movie and if you haven't read the book, read the book first and then go see the movie. But bring tissues, you'll want tissues. It is horribly, horribly, horribly sad. The quotes, the lines, the love, everything. It is so sad. And I've read that book like 6 times, and every single time, waterworks everywhere. And I don't even care because it's just way too sad. So those were all of the books, well, not all of them, the top 10 that made me cry that I have read. And at the end of every Bookworm Wednesdays, I do a book update. And so my book update is I have finished Dorothy Must Die, I have finished Looking for Alaska, and I think I finished Will Grayson. I know I finished it, but I don't remember if that was last week's or this week's, but I finished Will Grayson. And so currently I have started reading The Darkest Minds. That one I'm listening to it on an Audible book. And then I am reading the second book in the Maze Runner trilogy, which is The Scorched Trials. And so I just started that one, and I started The Darkest Minds this morning at the gym when I was working out. And so that is where my update is. I will see you guys on Friday with a Random Friday video, and I will see you guys later. Have a good day.